it's becoming more and more frequent in Italy and in all European countries, this narration of Russia escaping sanctions by giving China more oil and gas at a cheaper price, and China in this way damaging Saudi Arabia by buying less oil and gas from them and having more advantage in buying oil and gas from Russia with these secret contracts that they have. They built the pipeline in 2019. It started becoming active from North Siberia, the eastern part. So it's very easy for them now to sell more and more to China. Well, the reason why this is a bit of a weak thesis is that Russia has a very high extraction costs, both of oil and gas. It's much higher. It was at $51, while the one of Saudi Arabia was at 17. So Saudi Arabia, it's much cheaper for Saudi Arabia to sell oil at any price than it is for Russia. And if Russia plays this game of the low price strategy, it's a very risky game. I mean, very few people, whether it's in business or in geopolitics, have won by lowering the prices, by lowering the targets, because it costs them. It costs them. In this way, it might be a way to save some more money, because even if they make something more than zero, it's better for them than making zero by selling to China rather than selling to none. But it's still a very risky game, and Saudi Arabia keeps having very high margins on the oil and gas it sells, and if it doesn't sell it to China, it's gonna sell it to somebody else. Like if Russia stops selling to the EU, Saudi Arabia is gonna sell more to the EU. So I don't see it as something that's weakening Saudi Arabia's position any further, but it just exposes actually how weak Russia is and how endangered that country is. If you take also into consideration that with the Green Deal that the EU Commission passed a couple of years ago, since Saudi Arabian extraction has less emissions embedded, less emissions, they pollute less in the extraction of their gas and oil than Russia. Whether in the future, thanks to the Green Deal, the EU authorities are gonna put some carbon tax or tax emissions over imports of oil and gas products, Russia is gonna be more in danger, and Saudi Arabia is gonna have a relative advantage toward Russia for this. Plus the fact that Saudi Arabia is also investing in renewable energies when Russia is not. And regarding to China, one last thing, even if China is enforcing this relationship with Russia, they're taking advantage of low prices in oil and gas from Russia, but they're not helping them geopolitically. They've not shown any practical real help. Because if they wanted to help, they would buy the oil and gas at the same prices they would buy from the Saudi Arabians, which they don't want to do because it's a cost to switch from which one you import. So you're only willing to do it if you get a lower price, and that's gonna weaken Russia. So this strategy of the low price strategy can save them some money in the short run, but in the long term, it's a losing game.